everyone, I am here with Colby. We're going to be analyzing one of his stand-up sets from the last Laughter Party. We'll be talking about what we really liked, what maybe we didn't like, some thought processes that made certain decisions happen during the stand-up set, and just overall analyzing the stand-up set. And if you like these sorts of videos, hey, please give us a like, comment, subscribe to this channel. You can check out more of Colby's material and his comedy, which all of his socials will be added to the description, as well as mine, if you want to check those things out. But let's get things started. Colby, tell us a little bit about how you felt about this set that we did at Laughter Party.
Yeah, so I feel great about this. I had objectives for this. I wanted to work on crowd work, and I wanted to work on being present and connecting with the audience and performing to myself and trying to make myself laugh. That's something that I often try, that I believe as long as I can achieve that, I know I'll have a good set. And I think this is probably one of my best performances of this material that I've been doing for a long time.
How are you doing tonight? How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Just a second ago.
Woo!
Talking to crowds is different than talking to individuals. You know? Dude, what happened to that guy? What happened to... Woo! You switched up on us, man. What's your name, buddy?
Alec.
Alec? That's loud as fuck. I miss the old Alec. You guys miss the old Alec?
Okay, so your thoughts on intro moments are very important. I'm going to do something that I'm going to start doing regularly after we get your thoughts on your intro moment.
Yeah, so pretty interesting to see third person, because I was so committed to just I'll get to my material when I get to it, which I'm normally terrified of. I'm stick to the it's like the safety net, right? So and I'm I realize I'm much more lower energy, and so this is kind of interesting to watch me. I'm literally dragging the mic stand around. I'm being very kind of almost having somewhat of a lackadaisical demeanor, which but I think it's good. I think it's working well. I'm building a good rapport. I'm getting the audience on my side. I'm hey, look, this is a conversation. I'm not going to talk to you and talk at you for a while. I feel like I'm setting up for a really good expectation from the audience, and hey, I want you guys to know you're getting yourself into something where you can laugh. Don't be afraid to be comfortable. Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, except for exactly one moment. Which there's one moment when I just watched it back without remembering what happened after. I was uh-oh, but we resolved it, so we handled it really well, and so that there's no danger at the end.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Just a second ago.
Woo!
Talking to crowds is different than talking.
So it sort of seems kind of bullying / putting down. How you doing? Oh, just a second ago. I'm exaggerating, but it's just a second ago, it was woo! Now, talking to things. Once again, I'm ramping it up from a 2 to an 8, but there is a little bit of that energy. And so when I was just watching this back before you got on, I was uh-oh. But we immediately resolved that by playing with it more, by doing this.
Dude, what happened to that guy? What happened to... Woo! You switched up on us, man.
That.
What's your name, buddy?
That and the what's your name, buddy? Shows that there was no ill will meant. That hey, we're all friends here. We're just joshing. That I think forgives all potential sins. A lot of people when they come to stand-up shows, they're used to sort of insult comics, and so if we do anything that's even on the verge of bullying, the audience is oh shit, is this one of those comics? Oh fudge, I need to watch myself. I don't think any ill will happen, but there's a little flag of danger.
Yeah. I felt it in the moment. I was I need to address that. And I was also I know this. I was let me get his name too while I'm at it. If I'm gonna try to soften that and make it okay and patch things up with this guy that I might have scared and built tension in the room, let me also try to get myself a little bit more to work with,
Yeah, I also the idea of I miss the old Alec. I think 2 other comedians called that back. So, you know, anything that
Yeah.
other comedians are calling it back is something that like resonated with the audience at large in their working memory, and it was like a good calming, so like safety button moment. So I really like that. And then one thing I'm trying to do for all intros is like, you know, when a comedian walks on stage, it's like being introduced to someone at a party. If I do like the avatar of you walking on stage for this show right now, I'd be like, oh hey, I'm Colby. Yeah. Oh, what was that? You're not happy to see me? Oh, this guy, this piece of shit. But we love this piece of shit, right? Oh, thank you. What's your name? Yeah, I'll get you a drink, man. Thank you. Let's go back to that woo vibe. Okay, man. Yeah. If I had to do like the spirit avatar of meeting this
That's interesting,
Colby
yeah.
party, I want to do that so that as I get a compilation of these, everyone can be like, oh, that's why that set went this way. That's why I said that set went the other way, because that's like the version of meeting that person at a party, and that's like the whatever.
Yeah, you called me out on an earlier stream. You did that for me, where you were like, "Do you realize that if you talked to somebody at a party and then you did the thing back to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah,
And, like, it was a bad intro, and you like illustrated it like that in that context, and so like it makes sense.
I miss the old Alec. You guys miss the old Alec?
Yeah, now we celebrate them with a moment. We show that, hey, let's celebrate you for a moment. So even if Alec was sitting there like, nah, that applause for me. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Hey, I like Colby too now. So like, love that. Oh yeah, and also to the end, to the. I'm gonna talk too much for a second. To the end about like you feeling like you go too fast, and in this set you were nice, relaxed. Watch. It doesn't. To people watching at home, this might not feel like a long pause, but watch how relaxed this pause was as we celebrate Alec.
You guys miss the old Alec? That's a sad thing to be. Why do you woo about that?
Right? I don't think I've ever heard like unless we're very intentionally doing it, like a 5-second silence pause from a Colby. So like yeah, excellent.
Talking to crowds is different than talking to individuals. Everyone's talking about dating.
Okay, how do you feel about that segue? I understand we're doing the weird gear shift from like, okay, fun, train the audience in the proper way. Okay, let's get into material, but like we didn't have the clutch down or whatever, and the gears like.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm going to tell you about dating, because that would be not acknowledging that every comic before me just talked about dating for like their whole set. So I was like, I need to acknowledge it now, at least semi, like I'm trying to be like, look, hey, forgive me, I'm going to keep talking about this. And to give me permission to do it.
Sure. Yeah, it's always bullshit in a second. I think just doing like being a little bit more real would have helped, because like the reason is our energy was like, hey, we're laid back. Now guys, I'm gonna talk. It felt like we were forcing it versus like laid back energy. Hey guys, like I have to do some material, so dating, like just being honest with the fact that I'm about to do a abrupt transition might have gotten us there without the
Yeah, I think putting it into the mic stand too really
sure.
worked against me there too. It was very much like this is a transition.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm so relaxed. Now I'm going to do material.
And like Asia.
Look at that long-filled pause. Oh, yeah. Comfortable in the silence, letting the audience wants to talk to you right now, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll listen, love it, and we get rewarded for it. Oh my god, I think it's even longer than the other one. Oh.
Crowds is different than talking about individuals. Everyone's talking about dating.
I think honestly the thing that I think makes it feel so weird is if you just gone like, everyone's talking about dating, if we didn't have that weird abrupt, it might have felt more. That might be like the catch that like makes it feel like clunk 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 clunk. I don't know. Not to hyper focus on it. It's fine. Let's I want to go back to the pause. So.
And like Asia. I'm white and I speak Japanese, so.
Okay.
That's right, I put the Asian in Caucasian. And sometimes I put my fucking Asians.
Oh.
Don't clap, that's fucked up.
Okay, so how do we feel about that moment specifically?
Yeah, I don't think that I discouraged it. I was just like, I don't like that I said don't clap, that's fucked up. I was like, I just wish I was like, I don't know. I think there's a way to do whatever it was I was going for better, but
I like the idea about like, oh, you guys clap. Well, I see you. I know things about you. Ooh, okay. Keep clapping if you got a fetish. Oh, now you don't clap. Like, and so like to try to use that same energy to reward the clap instead of like the yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I like the instinct. We just, and once again, for those watching, it's always hard to pull the exact correct audible. So just this exact iteration. But I'm not worried about that in the future.
So, all right, anybody here like watch anime or like watch Japanese movies or anything?
You see how big of a laugh we got? No material, just a reaction to the audience doing something weird. Just to like, hey, I'm listening to you. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm playing with you, animal that is the audience. Literally, it's just like a. I got a full laugh. I love that. Yeah, I want to watch that again. Here.
So, all right, anybody here like watch anime or like watch Japanese movies or anything? Okay, so you guys don't need me to explain to you what sex in Japanese sounds like, you sick fuck. So, here's the thing. I can explain to you what sex is in Japanese is like as a language learning experience. So, in Japanese, we say iku, which means...
Okay, I'm stopping here. Thoughts on the intro into this joke?
Yeah, I feel it's a week, and I'm like fumbling into it. I'm like trying to calculate. I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's a different way I could do this, and I'm like trying to not be afraid of it. I'm like, let me take my time. I'll accept some fumbling in exchange for the possibility of exploring here, because that's what I'm really trying to do during this set.
Oh, honestly, frame like that, yeah. I like the comfortableness of it. Like, sometimes when we talk, like when we're talking, we're like sympathize. So when we're talking, and so like it doesn't feel unnatural. It's like it is a part of speaking to someone. And then the reason it just felt weird is like diagnostically stand-up wise is because we gave the same information 3 times in a row, so there's no build. So it's always like okay. But as far as like we didn't panic. We didn't be like, oh fuck, my next bit. And because it still feels like how people have conversations. It like the audience is still with us. We haven't lost anything. Versus we're like, oh fuck, what was I doing? Fuck, and you're like, oh god, etc.
So in Japanese, we say iku, which means to go, like just basic, like I'm going, right? See, here's the thing. In the same context in America, when we say I'm gonna come, they say I'm gonna go. So I'm hitting it. Yeah! And she goes, iku.
Oh, pause it. So yeah, your thoughts on the chair for I'm hitting it.
I've never had this bit work. I've pulled it off plenty of times, but it never gets like the response that I really want out of it. And so far, I've just been like willing to accept that I was able to make a bilingual pun work. I've just been proud of that. But now I'm like, you know what? I need to make this funny, and I'm like, so I'm already fumbling the setup. Physicality. And I was like, all right, chair. And I was like, let me break from. I just went from and I was like, well, I'm gonna use that nervousness and exploit that to be like, all right, I was nervous because I didn't want to talk about sex. I'm hitting it and just dive in.
Yeah, I love it. Once again, I think you diagnosed the conceptual part of it perfectly about like, oh hey, we're nervous about making sex. It's hitting it is a very big bold confession. And then the chair, when we start to move the chair, the audience in their minds starts to ask the question, why did he move the chair? But then also we're sort of like putting it down in a semi-suggestive position, so it's helped growing that tension from the sort of like thought painting we're building. And I think that punctuating it with that chair builds tension in a physical way. So we have physical tension growing as we have verbal, like intellectual tension growing, and it all pays off in a very visceral, just like, so I was hitting it, which, you know, everyone sort of understands, everyone gets it. So great working the joke on multiple angles, which is why I think it works so well.
Good, and I go, where? Are you good on time?
What I like about that is you giggling at yourself. You giggling at yourself when you say, like, are you good on time? I think helps the audience, like, oh, he's having fun. And like, oh, okay. And it like seeps personality through. And it makes that line particularly land harder than I think it would have without if you're just like, are you good on time? If you just like full stand-up delivered that instead of like,
I have the empirical data to prove that, bro. Because I've done this bit enough times, and I'm like, and I go through it, and I do it just like that. And she goes, cool. And I go, where? I go, are you good on time? And then I go, and then it's like aggressive, it's abrasive, and this part, and like it's like just kind of falls through this part. And so like I think because I was nervous, and now that I it's like, all right, I'm gonna say it, and then she says the thing, and now I'm like, the audience buys into my character enough to believe that I'm confused, and then I'm like, all right, I can laugh at this because I genuinely think it's funny, and like it does so much more than just being in this energetic spastic character that I tend to kind of play up more often than I'd like.
I mean, honestly, I think if we can control and choose the moments when we go bigger and crazier, that it's a force of nature to be used well. But right now we're a little bit too much uncontrollable Hulk instead of like Professor Hulk with it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
She's like, why did you stop? I thought we were going. I'm like, why are you going just as I'm coming? No, but I missed Japan. You know the thing I missed the most about Japan?
Oh, I think we could have gotten a bigger laugh. We're like, oh, I miss Japan, like as if referencing that girl that you were just hooking up with as like an emotional aside.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a moment that I could.
And you could even be like, oh, I miss Japan. I'm going there soon.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I'm gonna go, and they want me to come. We might be able to get one. It might be too much gilding the lily, but at least in this moment, I'm giggling at the idea of it.
People watching, if you've seen Will diagnose my other sets, you know that I turn around and I look away from the audience a lot, and he'll call me out for it every time. And so in that moment, I like immediately remembered Will, and I was like, I'm turning around to put the chair, and I was like, go to the next bit, like turn around and say something. So that's why I like jerk back and I'm like, I was Japan.
So honestly, I don't hate this turnaround because there's some turnarounds where it's like nothing's happening. It's disengaged. Yeah. Versus like, imagine I was like, hey guys, the other day excuse me as I just look for this for a second. So the other day I'm still connected to you verbally, even though non-verbally I'm looking away. And we continue, because we keep talking, I don't hate this look away as much as I might hate others. Because I think we don't have an abrupt stop in information flow.
Going. I'm like, why are you going just as I'm coming? No, but I missed Japan. You know the thing I missed the most about Japan?
There's a slight second when it was going to be silent, and then no, but I missed Japan. So as soon as we said, but I missed, if we could have just like, no, but I missed Japan, and then turned back, it would have felt supernatural. And
yeah, I like try to fix it like after, like right a second into noticing it that I was doing it. Yeah. So, but yeah, just to keep going. And that's something I'm gonna remember. It's like if I'm gonna turn back to the audience, like stay connected somehow.
Sure. And once again, this is like 0.3, 0.3 of a second, so like the audience doesn't notice, but it's stand-ups like,
I miss the trains. They have like my favorite trains. Yeah, I know. I was like, what I sound like it.
Okay, so this is, I'm going to talk about this before I let you talk about it, because a lot of times with stand-ups, they want to be like, I missed the trains. The trains were so efficient. How efficient were they? Here's the joke. But each one of those sentences is enough of a weird thing we're bringing to the audience that like it's enough. Each sentence alone is enough. It literally just takes like 3 words and we have attention to draw from. And I like trains. And then I was like, okay, that's a weird confession, but I can see that and not see that, so that's attention. And we get an applause break for saying, I like trains. which we wouldn't have gotten if we weren't being calm and collective and pause. But literally, like, comics would be like, I need to spend 4 months thinking of like train, more like training, and it'll be the perfect pun. Meanwhile, I like trains. Oh, thank you. I do like right. So just for like people try to like overwrite these bits, and we can get to them, but like each sentence along the way is just enough. And then of course you heard me trying to clack and add. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. You can decide if you're like William. Yeah.
Is that you? Is that you that said Thomas the Tank?
Yeah.
4-year-old.
Okay, it helped. Let's watch just watch that one more time. Oh, that's like a 9-second laugh. I was like, let me go back.
I missed about the most about Japan is I miss the trains. They have like my favorite trains. Yeah, I know. I was like, when I sound like a 4-year-old. God, the train.
Yeah, 2 things I love about that. One, we keep the applause going because when the audience starts to react, we validate it, which is like a small hand about like, oh, I'm indicating, I'm giving you permission to laugh. And we get a second laugh when we call out when we release the tension again. We're like, yeah, I'm talking like a 4-year-old. I like trains. And then we label what the audience is intrinsically laughed about, and we get a second laugh. So great instinct in the moment. Yeah.
I think that I call it out even earlier with like a really small gesture, because I think it's on everyone's minds. They're like, that's a weird thing to say, and then I do like a small thing with my hand. I'm noticing this now, and I'm thinking about other bits that have worked really well on this stage, of like me going, why did I say that like that? And like I realize the ridiculous thing that I say, and I'm like, yes, the thing I said was ridiculous, and it gives
permission.
Permission to.
Yeah, let's find that.
You know the thing I miss about the most about Japan is I miss the trains. They have like my favorite trains.
Yeah. It's the favorite. I'm gonna get in camera. My favorite trains. It's that. Yeah, that 100%. That's the one. Like, yes, I am weird. Oh shit, that is a weird thing I just said. And then that I do believe that is the inception of that laugh. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, when I sound like a 4-year-old. God, the trains are so cool. And I'm like, God, you got it. No, they have cute trains. They do this. Stop bullying me.
I like it. I like our instinct was almost to stifle it and go into the material, but then the audience is like, that's ridiculous that he's just gonna try to talk at us, and then we backtrack and we're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna comment on the fact that I'm I'm calling out that whole process that just happened. So I think that shows a huge progression in our stand-up, and it keeps our vibe going with the audience. So I love that. I absolutely love that.
They do. Talking to crowds is different than talking to individuals. So
yeah, I love that relax. I love keeping, and I love that we're giving space, and we're even taking time to laugh with the audience. Once again, it's a dialogue. We're vibing with the audience. We're playing with our friend. It's one giant piece of a friend. But yeah, these are things that stand-ups won't write into their sets. But like 100%, this is the success.
The trains will do this thing where they'll make like a jingle that's unique to each stop. So like for instance, Shibuya, very popular station there, goes.
Oh man, if we could have written in, it's impossible. It's impossible to do it on the fly, but it's like, Shibuya, it's one of my favorite train stations. And like, do the whole, it's easy to do after the fact.
What's your favorite train? Hey, what's your favorite station?
Yeah. What's your favorite conductor? Who's your favorite? Yeah. It's like,
Onakaki wa Shibuya. That's a very accurate impression. And so, not all the jingles are created equal. So like one of the Roppongi, the red light district, does this like weird thing, and it's so real, guys. I'm telling you an honest story right now.
So what do you think about that moment and that sentence?
I think it took way too long to get there, but I do eventually get there. And I was like, thing is, I heard another comic burn honesty dollars in real time. Like I heard an audience member go, "That's not real." Like audibly say that next to me in the audience. So I was like, I can't. I was like, with this, there's at least one person that I can personally account for that won't enjoy me passing off this very fake joke because I'm about to make an obviously fake sound for the train. So I'm like, and also it's weird because I've been so real and honest with the crowd so far. Why would I suddenly do such a performative bit that's so silly? So I'm like, I want to acknowledge this, and so once I do eventually get there, I acknowledge it, and then I like do like a little thing to be like, it's ridiculous. The whole idea of I try to acknowledge the absurdity of I'm telling jokes. It's all silly, and then like there's a little bit of giggling, and I try to like ride that out, and I go, okay, I guess that's all I'm gonna get out of that, and then I go into the.
So I think the way that we said, yeah, this is all real, is sort of being it's sort of like the attitude that we have it is like, yeah, this is all bullshit. It's sort of like casts an aspersion on all the information that we're giving at the audience in that moment, and sort of like, I am a liar right now. So it causes a sort of, at least in my mind, a weird like semi-funk right after it. Like watch.
Yes,
It's like a weird thing, and it's so real, guys. I'm telling you an honest story right now.
So to me, there's two laughs, there's two giggles, but the audience is like, what? Because basically you're like, hey guys, I'm gonna keep talking to you. It's all gonna be fucking lies. Okay, hey, here's the rest of the story. Once again, I'm ramping it up. But
I agree.
I like the idea about like, hey, I've been real with you guys. I'm about to do something really wild and zany. You guys want to go on a journey with me? If we had been more wholesome in our application of it, instead of like this is fucking bullshit. We would have had more success. I like the instinct to bridge that gap between calm and now big Colby, but I just think we could have had it more like open heart, honest, optimistic. Yeah.
Train pulls up and he goes, "Mamanaki wa roppongi." Just gonna laugh too hard. I'm not shaking any of your hands. Everybody who laughs.
I understand that we're doing the Pornhub intro song with our thing. I don't like that our immediate reaction is to react to the fake speakers that are playing that in the station instead of like, okay, I got you, I see you, instead of being locked into the audience and who responds to that. Because instead we're in a virtual world responding to not the audience in a virtual way instead of really trying to pay off and like, oh, you really love that one. Oh, no, I'm not shaking your hand. Oh. Instead of really being locked into that audience with that connected moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow,
I see what you're saying.
Because for a second, it turned into real theater, as in like, not real theater as in big and performative, which I like, but real theater as in there's a fourth wall between us and the audience.
Yes, yeah. I think even if I...
That.
Yeah, even if I reacted to the audience as if they were people who were on the train with me, then at least it would have.
Oh yeah.
I think played much better.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Oh my God! This guy heard it. He's got an erection right now. Or whatever. Yeah.
Just gonna laugh too hard. I'm not shaking any of your hands. Everybody who laughs.
And then that line would have come off of the full crest of the first laugh instead of us burning the crest of the first laugh on our act out, and so it probably would have reignited harder. I'm willing to bet.
Wash up first. But like, my favorite station is Gotanda. In Gotanda, he goes, "Mamanaki wa Gotanda."
Okay, how do you feel about the techno payoff at the end?
I feel the payoff's really good. I jumped up there and I was like, "Holy shit, there's a gong here!"
I think that was like a true moment of like living in the moment and then using your environment, and I think that's why it literally got like a semi shriek from the audience as like a shriek of like of thrill. So like I like that instinct.
Yeah, I feel like I had been at this point. I was like, I've been like kind of just going into material a bit much here, and it's been a bit of a break since I really interacted with the audience. So I'm like, after this thing, I need to like really, at the very least, make like really deadlock my eyes on the audience and like do something. So like afterwards, that's why I try to like super stare them because I'm like trying to make up for it.
Sure. The one thing I'll say about this, once again, this is a super nitpick. I think we could. There's at the very beginning, we could have built a little bit more tension before we let the beat drop. So like,
Rotunda!
rotunda, rotunda, and sort of indicate I'm about to do something, and then do it instead of it coming more out of nowhere.
I really would have loved to. My voice is gone.
Oh,
And
sure.
I was
Okay.
and I was like, I'm risking my voice cutting out doing this at
Yeah.
all. I was like,
then smart audible.
God.
Yeah. 100%.
yeah. But yeah, I agree. I'm glad you have the same thought.
Oh, it's too late, and I'm saying it's easy to do this after the fact, but they're telling you to go, white boy, and we talked about going is coming.
Oh.
So like, there's definitely something there. If you're like, go, white boy, this. I know you got like this. Once again,
Yeah.
it's easy after the fact. But
That's what the Japanese girl said to me.
yeah, 100%.
ドアが閉まります。I'm like, when the fuck is the train gonna leave? New York trains do this really fun.
Okay, what, the transition?
That transition, I looked away. I had to blame the rules. Shit, I was doing so good. But yeah, I was okay with them all.
Thing, super. You guys know how fun New York trains are, right? They've got bullet trains. We got bullets on our trains. You know? Fun time in New York, am I right? So like, this guy's laughing too hard. You were the one who put the bullets on the trains. I know it. Fucking Alec over here. It's the same guy. I miss the old Alec. Like New York trains have some.
Once again, what's the thing is we're being comfortable and we're being relatively silent, and once again, it's not like a full unified audience applause break, but because we're leaving space in there, that's allowing the different pockets of the audience to react how they will. Because like, oh, this is my part of the dialogue, and so it's like, you know, this friend over here's talking for a little bit, this friend over here's talking a little bit, but none of that would happen if we were too busy to take the vocal line on what we were doing. So it's still great job relaxing to the silence and letting it sit for longer than feels comfortable.
Bangers, not gonna lie, we got some bangers. We got the classic boom boom. Oh. I got that on my iPod Shuffle. No, but like my favorite person in the world wasn't the Korean girl who left me during the pandemic. Comedy's therapy. My favorite person in the world is actually somebody who works for the MTA, and you all know this guy. The train goes.
Can you pause right there?
Yeah.
I just want to see the time set. I'm already 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Is that like, is this from this is that time set like I get from when I get up there?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Dude, I had no idea how long I was up there. I was like, I'm just up here for a million years. I was like,
I was gonna ask you before. How long did you feel the set lasted?
I honestly felt like forever. It felt like I did 10 minutes, and I was just like, and I was thinking of ending it there, and I was like, I could end it just there. That was fun, and I normally do end on that joke. And I was like, I don't know. It feels like I should do one more bit, which clearly looking at the timeline, I can see it does not. Apologies to Will. I ran it super long. But yeah, it was such a different feeling performing like this. I very different than I normally perform. So
Yeah,
like
I'm sure all your bits slowly
time
bled
is
longer. Yeah. It's fine.
yeah.
But 13 minutes for the.
God damn.
Uh,
Sorry.
okay. I am the only one that does when I'm like, oh, this bit clocks in about 8 minutes, and then I watch my footage. I'm like, oh, 6.5 minutes. So I, like literally like of all the people of what the 50 people I work with, like everyone else goes longer. I don't know what the fuck is either right or wrong with me, but I'm the only one that underestimates time.
So, I believe this or not, but I was a child once. Wild. And what a time it was, because I remember this school said I had to go see a special doctor. And, you know, when you're a kid, you're like...
So this is one of those things where we're saying a lot of sentences that each one, like, I was a child once, we get the laugh. I had to see a special doctor. Do you want to guess? Not you doesn't know. Like, each one of these lines is an idea in and of itself that we're sort of like, let me shove this, let me shove this, let me shove this, let me shove this. Okay, now we're finally, but like we could be paying off along the way on all these sort of like shoved ideas.
Yeah.
We don't have to. It's like hyper optimized, but the audience is just as likely to have fun with that idea as what we're finally going. So like,
I could have just said when I was a kid I went to the doctor and they told me I had ADHD, or the doctor told me that I had ADHD when I was a kid, right? But I've always done the doctor. The school said I had to see a special doctor because that it implies other things, and I'm like, maybe I'll think of something funny or I'll get a reaction. Monday Night Quarterback, I probably could have been like, school said I had to see a special doctor. They saw the trains that I was that I was watching or something. I could have, you know. But but like that's why I do that, is because I'm looking for that thing.
Okay, gotcha. Like a special. I mean, like, look, if we're trying to inset the idea that I think we're trying to send, like, my school said I had to see a special doctor that sends kids to special classes. Like we could like lean into the special, and then maybe the audience might react more to it. Right now, it seems too much like there's not as much, because we're sort of saying it matter of fact, and there's not much like personality put behind it. The audience is like, okay, this is an information dump, and so they're sort of like taking it as an information dump more as like, this is when he wants to play with us. It's like, here, watch. If I think I have not said a lie. Let me verify that.
And what a time it was, because I remember this school said I had to go see a special doctor.
Yeah, even the way we're saying it, the school said I had a special doctor. This is not an important part. This next thing is not the important part. Now I'm gonna get to the important. Everybody said like the school said I had to see a special doctor. Then the guy's like, he feels a certain way about that. Do I need to feel a certain way about that? Versus like, this is complete bullshit. We're blazing past this together. Please don't react to this. I'm gonna say more things with like your energy.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you're a kid, you're like, either I need special classes or I'm getting superpowers, right? There's two things, right? So I was like, I'm walking in the doctor's office, I'm like, oh god, I'm 7 or 8, right? And I'm like, what are you working with, doc? X-ray vision, super strength, invisibility. He goes, ADHD, stop moving. Doc, I don't understand you. He goes, that's natural. You have a learning disability. No.
Notice how the reaction to the audience was bigger than the jokes got. Just notice, like the conversation is more than any of our bullshit writing.
No. How do you think I feel?
Great payoff.
So he goes, all right, I'll spell it out for you, dummy. Basically, ADHD stands for attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And I wasn't paying attention, so all I heard was hyperactive, and I was like, fuck yeah! That scared the shit out of me. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh my god, I'm hyperactive. I'm like, I'm going to need to wear weights all the time to keep me from moving too fast. The doctor's like, you need to take Adderall all the time to keep you from doing this shit in my office.
So I think what might have let's listen to the payoff of that. So a few giggles. I think we would have paid that off joke more is if what the doctor said, I need to move weight. I need to use weights all the time to keep me from moving too fast. No, you need to take Adderall so you stop doing this shit in my office with like the same musical cadence.
Yeah. So normally I do it, and I do it in threes. I go. The doctor says I need to take something to help me get through every day, and I go, oh, like Cyclops from the X-Men. He wears goggles on his face all the time to keep the lasers from shooting out of his eyes. I'm hyperactive, so I need to wear weights all the time to keep me from moving too fast. The doctor says you need to take Adderall all the time.
Oh, okay.
So it's like very spelled out, and but I fumble it here.
Sure, yeah, no. But yeah, if done that way, yeah, that's the 100%. But yeah, it's always a little scuffed and always a little bloody, so no worries there.
Yeah.
Doc, I still don't get it. And he goes, sure. What you need to understand is that you're not like the other children in your class. I mean, you hear that, Mom? A doctor said I'm built different. Yeah, sure. Everyone's brain is built different, but yours is built with an...
I do like the natural response about like built different usually gets a big laugh, but because we're doing it naturally and we sort of like very casually collapse out of it, it didn't get the laugh, but I don't feel that you just missed a joke. You know, as an audience member, I'm not like, oh, he just ate shit. Even though normally some comics would be like, I'm built different. Okay, you guys didn't like that one. It's enough of a, oh, I understand why he's saying that and we like jumped on it fast enough that I don't, as an audience member, I'm like, oh, he's just still talking to me. I don't feel like a joke was missed. So like I do like that performative wise, because usually built different gets a laugh, right?
Yeah. I was like I was so thrown that it didn't get a laugh. I was like, go.
Yeah, I don't know if I can diagnose that one right now myself.
I'm doing this shit in my office. Doc, I still don't get it. And he goes, sure. What you need to understand is that you're not like the other children in your class. I mean, you hear that, Mom? A doctor said I'm built different. Yeah, sure. Everyone's brain is built different, but...
I think I have a few ideas.
Sure.
So I can tell you why I think it normally works. Is because I'm running around and I'm doing things pretty. I would have normally done a fairly rhythmic joke, and I'm like moving one side of the stage to the other, and then it's like when I talk as the doctor, I stop, I stand still, I speak clear, and then I snap back. You hear that, Mom? Doctor said it. So it's like there's a but here it feels like I'm just giving off information. I'm just telling you things.
Yeah, you're back into like real like casual Colby instead of like I could vibe that by normally like, you hear that, Mom? I'm built different. Be like feeling like a big thing versus this like, hear that, Mom? I'm built different. So I think I could have fixed it in the moment. There was a silence, and if I just sat on it, I think I might have saved it. But I was like, dude, I've been sitting on jokes and praying that they land this whole act, and it's been working. But I'm like, maybe I'll walk away from the table. Yeah. Like fucking, I've been winning all night. Cash me out though. Cash me. I don't know. Yeah. Also something from London in chat which might have helped. I mean, which sort of like is what we were just saying is like I think a physical or visual thing might have helped. Like I'm built different. Boo. I like trains. Like if you like physically, but like that's sort of like what we normally do with the energy. But as another way, if we're not doing like bolting Colby to be like, hear that, Mom? I'm built different. As a different way to pay off. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good diagnosis. That why it normally works versus why this time the audience is like, oh no, we're just chilling, listening.
I agree, London.
Built with an OSHA violation. So, anybody who didn't get that joke, I'm not coming to your house.
So my one thing with OSHA violation, I do like the idea of it's built with an OSHA violation because it seems natural because it seems like we're just doing a side. However, we really need OSHA violation to like really land and cement, especially because we're about to like directly follow up. I really sort of wish we had highlighted. If we didn't do this follow up right after, I think it's super should be like it's like your house is built with, your brain is built with an OSHA violation, and then the subtle people that are really listening to us will laugh, and maybe other people won't. But because we're about to dig into it, I really think it's like my brain has an OSHA violation. Okay, if you didn't laugh at that, I'm not going to your house because we're definitely talking about OSHA violations instead of my brain, which was like doing it aside. So yeah.
But no, if I'm trying to diagnose like why I'm making these decisions that are like, because I do normally do it with emphasis on thing like why didn't I, like, why did I decide to do it different, and like, and it was a mistake. So like, so I'm thinking
Here's the thing. I don't
maybe
think.
it's because I'm trying so hard to be casual that I'm like kind of, it's now I'm overcommitted to it, and it's bleeding into things that need to have a little bit more rhythm or emphasis, or what have you.
Sure. Yeah, and I agree with that. And that, like, if we go over casual, we lose some of our ability to highlight and make things stand out. I don't dislike the instinct to say something's underhanded. Like, if we watch my set from last night, I do a lot of things that are pre-planned, but I do them like this, so it seems like, oh shit, he didn't mean to say that. So it's using it with purpose. I like the instinct to do that. It's just the one joke we choose to do that on is the one that we're it's like I like that we press that button, just not at this exact moment.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's brain is built different, but yours is built with an OSHA violation. So,
no, we sort of highlighted. I halfway between what I said and what the casual was like, sort of.
Didn't get that joke. Yeah. I'm not coming to your house. Fucking collapse. Like my brain. I appreciate the sympathy. This crowd is so nice. When I talk to individuals, they don't show me the same sympathy.
You know what? The first few is like, it's different talking to the crowd versus individuals versus the crowd. I was like, man, the first 2 times. But that I think it's like almost all worth it for like that right there. That may have.
And fucking, it was rough as a kid because you thought the doctor was bad. I was safe there. I get home and my parents didn't hit me that often. But.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's new, right?
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we're in explore mode instead of in like edit, get it right, recreate past iteration of it mode. I like that we're in like, no, let's see what this is with this audience.
When my dad did, he'd say, Colby, this is gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. I know, fucking hilarious. I never asked him if he was okay. I'm like, and like, I was glad.
I do like that we're sort of explaining like, hey, I'm laughing at this. I'm okay, guys, because we did sort of like just navigate around a huge minefield of the audience potentially feeling too sad for us, and so like we're doing a very good job of like, no, yeah, I used to get hit, but hey, whatever. Oh, hey, so it's like once again, big minefield that we just completely were like, and now we're through it, and the audience is like in with us for this potentially semi like borderline dark material.
But he would say it. It's like, that was my cue to run. You know what I mean? Anybody ever run from their parents? Yes. Yeah.
That's why we're in New York. Sorry.
Okay.
So you already know where it goes. I don't know if you knew this about my family. When I was a kid, my dad was a grown-ass man! Where was I going that he wasn't getting to first? I'd make it 3 feet and just... You should see the other guy. Hurt him more than hurt me. My mom...
I think maybe more of a pause, like, boom, down. You should see the other guy. It hurt him more than it hurt me. So, like, we let the first joke get us due, and then we drop the second one, I think. But still, right, nitpicks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I 100% agree.
Man, I really hope your dad wasn't going. Where was my dad going? Well, apparently in my mom. That's how I came to be. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Because the set is kind of long, I don't know if we'll get away with it, like with this much material in between them. But if we did those two things closer together, 100%. Or we'd have to really highlight the going with like a wink and a nod and a hey, remember? And then because now there's like 6 minutes in between.
Big cast, yeah.
My mom, she wouldn't even bother chasing me. She would just pick up the closest thing and like throw it at me. And like, I wisened up, so I would go to where there wasn't anything to throw. Each time the table was empty, and my mom, she wore heels in the house. She's bougie, so she would just take her high heels and huck them at me. A man of the club. What's your name, buddy? Eric. Thank you, Eric. A faith practicing man. Are you a man of the cloth? No. Oh. Then your prayers mean nothing for me. I don't know if you knew this about my family, but I'm no longer a child.
I like. Oh, okay. We're trying to like stir up improv in the moment, and we didn't come up with the most clever thing, but I do like that we came up with enough of a tying the bow that we got the laugh, we paid off, that we talked to the crowd, and then we moved on. Once again, it's like sometimes you'll hit the perfect vein of it, and we've already done that sometimes in this set playing with the audience, and then sometimes you don't. As long as we at least like, hey, yeah, I just talked to the audience, and now we're back to the material with our general demeanor. Great, no worries if we don't get a full home run. We got like a base from that swing, and we didn't strike out and we didn't get a home run, but like we still progressed the game. I think at least. I don't know, your thoughts on the man of the cloth?
No, I agree. Yeah, I was fishing and I was like, as long as I get a laugh, I can keep it moving. Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, she'd throw her high heels at me, and okay, so around this same time, George W. Bush was president, and there was a press conference where somebody had thrown their shoes at the president. So you guys know where it goes. If anybody who doesn't, he dodged the first shoe, just like fucking pure reaction time, like an athlete. Then a master strategist calculating the enemy's ammunition, 2 shoes in every pair. Bang! Dodged the second shoe. That's my fucking commander.
Oh, I think. I was gonna say we could go slow with the second shoe, but we're about to do a slow-mo shoe. So I immediately rescind my. Great. I shouldn't have
The
stopped.
chief right there. Cut back to me, the dining room table, dodging my mother's high heels like the president of the free world. Just, oh, say take your hat off, dude. It's the fucking Pledge of Allegiance. No, dude. My favorite thing.
I like the hat joke, but it seemed like there's gonna be a bigger payoff to what we were doing, and then we do a big payoff with the hat joke. So I'm like, so part of me is like, but wait, what was the end of the slow-mo shoe joke?
I agree. There wasn't one. I didn't have
okay,
any
okay.
very big, and I was like, as I was doing it, I was like, the ending on this is gonna suck. Like, I need to find it out.
Sure. I mean, if we need just like a bastardized collection of like, oh, say, can you see the shoe going by? Or like basically turn the lyrics into what's actually happening, and then we could do like the, hey, take your hat off. This is the national anthem, but don't throw it at me. I'm ready. Like we could combine all the. I think okay.
Well, you guys on this. My favorite thing is when my dad would chase me because I really believed I could get. Anybody else think that they could get away?
Yeah.
Dude, I would run, and I swear I was like a white Olympic athlete. My dad was like a black Nissan Altima. It just wasn't even the same category of competition. I'm Colby, thank you so much.
Okay, and then how do you feel about your exit moment?
It's okay. It's good. It's good laugh. It's good joke. It's good laugh.
I would say if I was gonna do the avatar of your exit moment, the avatar of your exit moment is like, it was great being at the party with you. Oh, but I gotta go. Bye. That's like someone I didn't know was leaving the party and like, oh, it's great talking. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you the thing tomorrow. Okay, bye. Like watch.
Nissan Altima. It just wasn't even the same category of competition. I'm Colby Lynn. Thank you so much, guys.
Right, we didn't let that joke breathe, and then we immediately call on the end of the set, and then by the time I process the end of my set, you're literally already turned in a way and like walking off. So I'm like, oh, okay, bye. Shit, I gotta say bye to Colby. Oh no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not terrible. Audience still likes us. We're still getting a big applause, but like that's the sort of like the vibe we left with. So, as I am wont to do at the end of these, now that we've watched the whole thing, if you're going to give words of wrapping up or one overarching lesson or things you wouldn't do if you did this again, just any sort of thoughts to synthesize the whole thing that we just watched, what would they be for you?
There was so much I got out of that. It's kind of hard to say. Follow the instincts.
All right, pause. If you have good instincts, some people don't have improv chops, in which case do not follow your instincts. Colby, sure, but maybe not, depending on someone. Sometimes instincts need to be trained first. Sorry to cut into your final thoughts. Back to you.
The material is not something to hold on to. It's a banister, but you can walk up and down the full set of stairs without touching the banister.
I like that. I'm gonna steal that analogy. I like that.
I think that's
and if you fall, that's when you really need to like double grab into the banister, get yourself back up, and then you can let go again. Yeah, I really like that banister analogy. Fuck it, it's mine now.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest key takeaway from that night. I mean, there's like a lot of little things, but it's like hard.
Sure.
It's like, okay, learning about it's like things that it's like I can't really put that into a piece of advice for myself or for others. It's more like, okay, well, that's just gonna like there's some things that are rough here or there, but it's like that's reps, and I can see where I'm going to go and grow. But it's like that's just something that I'll have to just practice. That's just repetition.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I will say we did probably the best job I've ever seen you do of really relaxing into laughs and just like vibing with the audience, and it paid off a lot. It paid off with like our nonverbal just things that we didn't even necessarily maybe even know what we were doing, but our instinct was there about like the trains, the big laugh. I like trains. And some of our biggest laughs weren't from written material. It was from those weird reactions to this specific audience. Yeah, we got in a little bit in trouble in our segues, but the only reason I think we got into trouble in our segues is because we're doing such a good job playing with the audience that we were like, oh, I have to get back on task, and then we like gripped too hard on getting back on task immediately instead of smoothly going into it. But I think that's just a matter of reps as far as bridging that scale about like, oh, hey, well, you guys were vibing about my train thing. Now let me talk a little bit more about train. Just like bullshit filler stuff like that. But overall, really great job. Definitely the best iteration I've seen of a lot of this material. I think if you are palatable is the idea. I think we could put this whole clip up on. I only put things up on the Laughter Party YouTube when like the whole clip is good. Otherwise, I'm like, I'll just chop it up for Instagram and TikTok. But I think if you wanted to like lay these to rest and start working on other bits to like get the good thing is this definitely makes the cut. And I think this is a great example of of where I think you'll go in the next year, which is like not losing your wild, crazy energy, but really knowing when to harness it and then when to lean back and react to it in like a sort of more natural Colby persona that the audience can vibe with. Yeah. And then, sorry, I interrupted. Sorry.
I said I agree. Yeah.
Cool. And then just for the process section of things, if you've made it this far in the YouTube video, please, for our sakes, like, comment, subscribe, hit that noti bell. If you want to see more of Colby's comedy, all of his links will be below. If you want to see more of my stand-up analysis videos or my comedy, all those links will be below.